Welcome back, gang. We hope you enjoyed that. Welcome back to the Silent Hill Ascension post show. Again, I am Noah, and this time I am here with the lovely Eduardo back with us again.
Yeah, it's a delight. I made sure to come back for this, and Noah, before we kind of do, the interview, like that was like we have a lot of what I like to call front stabbing in this show, right? Like, characters don't like each other, they tell it to their faces, very straightforward, right? Like, no mincing words, pretty straight up, like let's say Joey and Toby, there was no lost love, like pretty straightforward. This is the first time we've had like one of very rare times at the very least we've had a proper backstabbing.
Nils, this was not fair. I feel like people should not have to pay for their family's crimes. I understand that there is trauma here, but perhaps we should not be weaponizing that trauma. I do not know. But Brit always has herself. So
she has a little too much of herself, if you ask me.
Yeah, she always has herself. She's never truly alone. And maybe that's comforting when you're like best friend from high school. Backstabs you, sorry. Because it was a backstabbing. It wasn't a front stabbing like we get a lot of times. It was like, where are the boats? There are no boats. Oh, Lordy, Lord, here we are. We were duped.
When the gun is pulled out, that is not a good sign. Like things did not go well. Like, and we'll also talk about the decision that's coming as a result. The one that's going to close on Monday. We'll talk about it after the interview. But like that was like a really key moment, right? We were talking before about Lejo was at least straightforward, right? It was like front forward. Like, look, I gotta do my thing here.
Right.
This is rough. This is not an easy, like clearly something comes out of it. This didn't come by accident. This wasn't gratuitous. This was planned and calculated. There was something. There was pain. But very clearly there was betrayal. So that's what the question that's going to be left to the audience is what to do about it. We'll look at that though after the interview, Noah, right?
Well, yes, as Johnny Zombie Boy says, the Lottie audience will watch the interview now and then we'll be back and unpack another decision. But I do want to introduce the wonderful Trude Astrid Øines, who was speaking to our lovely Layla earlier. So production, can you please show us that interview and everybody enjoy? We'll be back after.
Welcome to this pre-recorded segment with a Layla in the past, where we interview our very own Trude Øines, who is the voice actress for Astrid. Trude, thank you for joining us. How are you doing today?
Thank you for having me. I'm really good. Really good. I've been looking forward to this conversation. Yeah, much.
Great. Well, it's such a pleasure to meet you. Well, the floor is yours. Please introduce yourself to the audience.
Well, thank you so much. Well, my name is Trude Øines, and I come from Norway. I come from a small town in Norway called Fauske. It's about 10,000 people living there. And since I was very small, I always wanted to go into acting or singing, and that was my plan for life. And when you come from a small country, it's more like working people. It was not that usual to do that. So when I was 16 years old, I moved out and I went to a music high school for 3 years, and I really loved it. It was also because I wasn't that much fond of all the homework in mathematics and all those stuff. I much more liked being out there and doing stuff. Yeah. So after that, I moved to Oslo, and I went to a musical school there for 2 years. And then I moved to Denmark. And in Aarhus, I went to actually a Russian school, which is called GITIS, the Russian Academy of Theater Arts. which is based in Moscow, but there were two teachers there who started the school in Aarhus. So we got the Stanislavski technique for 4 years. Then I moved to Oslo again, and then I've been working as an actress since then. I haven't done that much voicing before, and especially not in English. So this was a really nice experience to do. I have really enjoyed it, and I'm really happy about this series. It's a really interesting series to watch.
Hey, I'm so glad that you got the opportunity, and we love hearing your voice. Astrid is absolutely one of my favorites.
Thank you.
Now, when you talk about, you just mentioned going to school and you're learning the Stanislavski method. You mentioned you're a stage actress, right? Like, how did you even stumble upon the opportunity to try voice stuff?
Well, I've always been interested in like voice stuff. I always listen a lot to like audiobooks. I love like listening to audiobooks and documentaries, and because I like your imagination goes crazy when you don't see the pictures. So I really enjoy that. And then I was actually just outside the theater because I'm working at Hålogaland Theater in Tromsø. So I'm living quite north in Norway. And I was in the parking lot seeing on Facebook that there was searching for voicers to like an LA production. And I was like, wow, and she said, the 101st I'll take in. And I was like, okay, I will just text her a message. And here I am.
Here you are.
It's crazy. Yeah,
all the best opportunities are very, very random.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. Speaking of your imaginations running wild, are you a fan of the horror genre generally?
Actually, I'm not, or I wasn't. I think I watched horror until I was maybe 15, 16. But then I got so scared. Like I was scared of the darkness. I was scared of going into old houses. And I just figured out I can't watch this because I get so scared. So I had to keep away from it for a long, long time. And when I applied to this, I didn't understand that it was horror or it's a scary genre. So it was quite a surprise to understand, okay, that's what I'm doing. But then I realized playing in it and being in it, it's so much more fun. It's really fun. Now I'm actually starting to like this genre again because I'm watching the show and following the characters, and maybe I have to play maybe a bit of Silent Hill or some other games that I've kept long distance to it until now.
Yeah, hey, more fans for Silent Hill is a great thing. It's like the landmark psychological horror. So I think that would be very fun for you to like retroactively from this very new take on the franchise to go back and see what the core of it is. And it's also fun because Astrid, I feel like a lot of Astrid's horror was very upfront. Right, you kind of start with the thing with her mother, and you start with the things with Aurora, and a lot of Astrid's experiences are very immediately frightening. So you really got thrown into the deep end. So speaking of Astrid, what was a typical day like recording in your studio in Norway?
Well, because of the time difference, we started at 4 for me here, and I think it was 7 in the morning for you guys, and so it was one quite tired person and one who has been at work for 8 hours before meeting. It went really fine, and actually because we started in the beginning of before summer to do some takes, it was really hot. It was really hot in here in Tromsø. That was crazy. And then we started again in the autumn, and then it was really cold. So it's been a different experiences in the recording studio. But I really enjoyed the recordings. I'm surprised that it worked so fine to do it on video, and the contact you get between each other. So because we had a sound, Rune was doing sound or checking the sound here in Norway, and it was me and Tiffany in LA, and yeah, I looked forward to it every day. I loved it.
I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah, shouts to our team in Los Angeles, to Tiffany and the Imagos group. Super great job. It's definitely working on this like very international production is definitely a challenge, but I'm so happy to hear that you had a good time. In terms of recording, what was your very first impression of Astrid's character?
Well, she's quite a strong woman. She has been yeah, she's really experienced a lot in her life, and she's alone. She's like alone with a child, and wow, the story of both her sisters are quite heavy. So actually, that she's standing up still, it's kind of impressing that she is. But she's a fighter, a real fighter, and I really I really admire her determined, no, what's it called, like she's so determined. Yeah, determination. Yeah. I really admire that. She never gives up. Never.
No, and if I were her, I would have given up probably on day one.
Probably me too. Can somebody help me now? No, she's just going for it every time. So yeah.
Yeah, and a big part of Astrid's character is obviously her relationship with Orson. What's your take on her as a mother?
Well, I think she's a good mother. She never gives up on finding him, and she just wants to give him love. And of course, she's so afraid of becoming like her mother, and I think that's probably a lot of people like in the world are afraid of becoming like their mothers. But not everybody has a mother like Astrid. But no, she's a good mother. Wow, she's working to find him, and she just knows that he's alive. She knows that.
And he very much is, but when he comes back from his excursion, he comes back a little bit different. What did you think about recording the scene where Astrid reads that scary book to him?
Yeah, that was pretty horrible. I can't imagine like for real. Like your child comes home and you're so happy to see him, and he's just quiet, he doesn't say a word, and then he has this book, and then you start reading it, and it's just so full of hate. It's only hate, like all over the line, and you start wondering, what is that? Is that like the only thing my little boy is thinking of now? He's just full of rage and hate, and is he ever gonna be okay again? So it was really strange to read that book. Even though I was in the studio, I really I got into that, and I'm voting for him still in my head.
Yeah, it's a tough scene, right? Because especially I feel like your performance, you could really sense that like hesitation and confusion at reading that text for the first time, especially Billy Goat's Gruff, which is like such a popular story.
Yeah,
it's not supposed to be like that. On a more positive note, I suppose, what has been your favorite scene to see so far?
Well, actually, I really enjoyed one of the scenes that's not that not so long ago. I watched it. It was the scene where Brit just found herself laying on the ground with a bottle on the side, and she's kind of looking at herself. That really gave me the creeps. It was a creepy scene. But yeah, now Astrid is starting to meet her. That's that's creepy.
It was pretty pretty startling. I don't know what I would have done in that situation. Probably
No,
just
me
run away.
neither. Yeah, probably me too. I don't think I would go up to myself. I think
No.
I would run. Yeah.
No. If I see somebody who looks like me in real life, I'm like, that's weird. Just don't engage.
Yeah.
But hey, we talked a little about Astrid and her family, but there's also this new relationship that's spinning up. Our audience is really, really into this thing happening between Astrid and Haugen, or
Yeah.
Haugen and Haugen.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the ladies?
Oh, I wish them all the best. That's my thoughts about it. I mean, the world needs a lot of love, and just find your love. So I'm really, really voting for them. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm very happy to hear that. Me too. I'm absolutely rooting for them. Well, Trude, it has been such a pleasure to talk to you and get to know you and hear your stories. Do you have any final messages for the audience before we sign off?
Well, just keep watching and enjoy the show. And because I'm going to do that, I'm going to watch it until the end. I'm super excited to see how this story goes. And that's crazy when you do this kind of voicing, because you do 3 different types of alternatives every time, and then you don't know. So it's up to you guys. Yeah.
You hear that? That's a lot of responsibility, audience.
It is. Yeah.
Well, Trude, thank you so much for joining us. I know, for the time difference, it's a little bit later in the evening for you. I want to just thank you. I appreciate your time. It's been a lovely pleasure getting to speak to you, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night.
Thank you. The same to you.
Welcome back. That was such a nice interview. That was a great job. Layla, you killed it. And Trude is so nice. I can't get over how nice she is.
Yeah, like personally, one of the things I really liked about that interview was how like she admitted, because we usually ask the question if our voice actors are a fan of horror, given what we're doing. And I didn't really like horror, but like doing it was very fun. So she kind of learned how to love horror again. Which I appreciate, because that's also me. I wasn't a fan of horror, but working on something that's horror gave me a new appreciation for the genre. And I'm really happy we got to show this interview, because obviously Trude is in Norway right now, presumably sound asleep at 2:30 in the morning. So obviously we give for our guests the option to be recorded for cases like this, where like don't really want to request you to stay up until 2:30 a.m. I'd rather that we have a chance to talk to them and that they share their thoughts and insight with us. So thank you again very much to Trude. If you do get watch this recording, I should send you a message. Actually, I have your details, so I'll do that.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was awesome. And I really did like that it turned her into a horror fan, because she's like, oh, and you could really feel how it was hard for her to record that book reading scene. Like, she's a great actress. She's like, I did the Stanislavski. She's a serious lady. But let's talk about the decision graphic that's opening today, because it does have to do with our, with Norway. So production, can you please show that up on screen, the decision opening today? So basically, how will Britt handle Nils' betrayal? Will she forgive them? Will she overdose them? Or don't forgive them? Say, don't forgive them, Chris. Chris. Why did I even say Chris? I don't know, but Britt.
I don't know why, but it's okay. I mean, so the thing right here is, we talked about it right as we started the post show. The scene today were pretty like the backstabbing from Nils is pretty powerful. Like that was a big moment.
Yes.
But now the question is, what do you as the audience want Britt to do? Like, because I mean, again, our options are kind of shuffled, right? Like, we don't tell you which one's redemption, suffering, damnation. And I'm not 100% sure, because I'm trying not to remember at this exact time to not spoil stuff. But let's be real here about, if the other Brit with the red eyes is the one giving you the pills to overdose Nils, that might be a hint. I'm just saying. Right. There might be a hint here under the surface.
Yeah, it's it's a matter of different strokes. I don't know. Different strokes will see it differently. But I see that Plague Season gave us a shout out for the interviews. We're so happy that you all are enjoying them. We really love having them. It's really great because like I was coordinating the VO delivery and I was just like, okay, this is that. It's like just file names and stuff. So it's so great to like see the person. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So thank you, Plague Season, and all the audience that are watching it. So, but we will talk more about Neil's betrayal on Monday. We're going to dive a lot deeper into that because, you know, Neil's clearly is a complex character. So we'll talk more about it on Monday. We are nearing the end of the show, though. It is almost time. So, Eduardo, can you please recap for us and take it away?
Of course. So obviously, like the monsters are listening to the children. That's kind of like the big headline of this week. One of the important parts we didn't get a chance to talk about, and we'll probably will more on Monday, is that hug from Rachel calming down Faith and letting her know.
Oh my God, I love that. I got blindsided by all the action. We have so much to talk about. Sorry.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. I wanted to talk about it a little bit here as in our final recap because it is important to remember that that resolution is there. You know, Rachel. You know, there's a lot of love and there's a lot of hate in our audience, and justifiably so. I think the character in general, like, not necessarily the most likable, but in that moment, really, truly showing a lot more of a softer side to her and more of a side where she finally connects with her child in a way that she has not really been capable of during our Silent Hill Ascension. So that was nice to see. As you said, in regards to the acting, of course, we want to thank Trude again. If you get to see this recording, I mean, I'll send you that. But for her time, I'm sure you, the audience, had a great time with it. We did, as I said, we didn't get to say the merge be with you on that one, but we got the Astrid side. Did I say that right? I must have gotten it wrong. Anyways.
Astrid or how great?
That's the one. Yes, thank you. So now, as usual, audience, you can stick around. Puzzles are always available for you to gain some more influence points and honestly enjoy playing them. Because, they are. Actually, one of the nicest parts, I remember Valkyr saying, like, you know, there's some I'm better or worse at, but like he, for one specific one, I think it was Tal's, gives it to their wife. And I think that's kind of sweet, right? You got to do the teamwork. Silent Hill Ascension is all about being together and collective. So I appreciate the support and like the call for asking for help there. Now, our next show, you get as always a nice and relaxed weekend. Production team's going to put that next show graphic up on screen. But essentially, pre-shows 5:40 p.m. Pacific, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The show at 6 p.m. Pacific on weekdays, and obviously we have our post shows on those days where we have a pre-show the Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So as a result, our next show is Monday. That'll be at 5:40 p.m. Pacific. I can't wait to see you there. But that's the recap for kind of our show today, Noah.
Yes, so thank you all for enduring another harrowing day in the Silent Hill Ascension dark, foggy universe. We are going to see where all this leads us. We have a lot of stuff going on, so please join us back on Monday. We would love to see you here. We hope you have a wonderful weekend. Meanwhile, process the trauma together. We love bringing families together here in Silent Hill Ascension, and we really hope to see you again on Monday. So thanks, everybody.